Hey, my name is Scott Smith. This is the Getting Started in SwiftUI series. This is part 1, so let's get started.
All right, in this series, we're going to get started in the Welcome to Xcode screen because this is a Getting Started series with SwiftUI. So when you finish out this series, I want you to feel comfortable with creating a brand new SwiftUI project, knowing exactly what you're looking at when that project shows up, like where to write your code, how to use the cool live previewing in SwiftUI, and where you're doing everything, and how you can just play around with your views and experiment and make them look cool and make them look the way you want. So you're going to learn cool stuff in this series and be able to get going with SwiftUI and just really start progressing. All right, let's start by creating a new Xcode project right here. Now I'll snap this into view so you can see. Now we'll select single view app. We'll select next. Now my product name is going to be called Getting Started series because, you know, this is the Getting Started series. You can call yours whatever you'd like. All right, the next thing you need to know is the language. Leave that on Swift. Then the user interface, we want to leave that on SwiftUI. If it isn't there already, select Swift, select SwiftUI. All right, and these boxes here, don't check those because for this series, we're not going to get into those. For other series, yeah, we might check those. Not this one. So let's get going. Stop talking about that, Scott. All right, next. Now save this wherever you want. I'll put it on my desktop that needs to be a little more organized. Don't mind that. I'm going to hit create and keep going. You did not see that. All right, and here we are. This is what you see when you create a brand new SwiftUI project. So let's start. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections that are opened up. And I'll explain what they each are so you know what you're looking at here. Starting at the left. The only thing you need to know for this series, well, for this video at least, in this left section is the content view. This file is where you're going to write your code for the first view that appears when you launch your app. All right? So let's close this area. This is the project navigator, right? So Command 0, close that. Moving along, this is the area where you write your code. Now, content view, as I just pointed out in the project navigator, is this struct right here. SwiftUI is all about structs and views. So you'll see that as we go along. And this conforms to view, so it has a body right here. So anything in this curly brace area right here, like this text view, is what's going to show up on your screen. Cool, right? We'll get more into that. And this struct right here, another struct, see? Lots of structs here in SwiftUI. So this is called a preview provider. Give ourselves a little more room. Preview provider. So this is the preview provider for content view. And what does preview provider mean? Well, it provides the live preview of your code, which is pretty awesome. And you can see here, it's instantiating content view, which is this right here. So anything that shows up or anything you create in here is going to show up on this part over here on the right, which we're going to get to now. This area right here is the canvas. So this preview provider will provide what goes onto the canvas. So if we were to comment this preview provider out like that, then we would not be able to get a preview over here on the canvas for the code we're writing right here. So we'll leave that in there right there. Nice. All right, so this canvas here, this right here, let's start here. Automatic preview updating paused. Let's click this I. Automatic preview updating pauses when the previewed file, in other words, this content view over here, is edited in a way that causes the containing module to be rebuilt. All right, in other words, if it thinks it needs to rebuild this instead of being able to show you on the fly what you're putting in your code, then it'll show this resume button. So if it thinks it needs to be resumed or rebuilt, then click this resume button, right? So I just dragged off that. I won't click it yet because I wanted to show you there's another resume button over here at the top right corner. Let's click that resume button. All right, build succeeded. Here we go. Look at that. Let this sink in. If you haven't seen SwiftUI before, isn't that awesome? You've got your code on the left. You've got a preview of it on the right. So I'm going to use 2 fingers on my trackpad. Zoom in just like I would a photo. And you can zoom out too, just so you know. And we'll get down to here. There's our 2 buttons here you can play around with. This button here is the live preview. But you're thinking, wait, isn't this already a live preview? Say, yeah, kind of. It will show you what you're adding to your code as you add it in. But if you click this play button for live preview, it builds it right here. See that? And we're good. It is built and it is running a live preview, meaning if we had buttons and other things that we could interact with in our code here, look at my pointer now, my cursor. It's a hand instead of an arrow pointer, because we can actually interact with the code we're writing now because we're in the live preview mode. So if we had buttons, we could actually click them and it would do whatever we have written in our code. Pretty awesome, right? So that's live preview right there. So I'll hit the stop button now. Now we're not in live preview mode, so we can't interact with it, but we can still see the live changes we make. Awesome. All right, this next button down here is preview on device. Now, I won't get into that in this video, but that should be self-explanatory. You can click that and have it actually go and preview it right on your device. All right, so let's move on to this next section over here. But before we do, there's a button up here at the right that says adjust editor options. I'll show you this really quick. This right here, you click that and it says show editor only. That means, do you want just the code to show up and not this canvas area? You could click that. Or you can toggle canvas right here. See, it's checked. So I'll click that. There we go. Now it's just our code again. So we can go back up to here, click canvas if we want, and there it is. Hey, look, there's that resume button. Let's click it. There we are. And now, did you see there's also shortcuts for these? So you can open and close those just really easy. All right, so now on to this next area. Now this is the inspectors area. You may be familiar with this already, an Xcode thing. So if I were to go over here and click in my code, you can see over here, now we can modify the code over there. We can actually add things to it, some padding, some font, weight, color, and play around with it like that too, besides typing it out in the code. So we'll get into that in another video. So that's it for this video. Let's go ahead and close this inspectors area. This is typically how I have mine set up, but we'll get into that. All right, hope you liked this video. If you liked it, like it? Yeah, if you like this, like it. If you loved it, consider subscribing or just, whatever you want to do. Go on, I'll just stop talking. See you in the next video. Bye.